Hey everybody, it's Brandon making a video about the Norcross regional that a lot of us went to yesterday, as you saw from the Facebook posts. I'm going to have some deck profiles from it. Denard's will probably be a little later on, just because he doesn't want people to immediately see his deck list, because of how pretty much how way different it is than Dark Worlds are played today. Denard did get top 4. He just gave the win to whoever in top 4, so we could leave. It was like 11 o'clock, past 11 o'clock at that point. But this is deck profile of our windups. I got 63rd place out of 349 people, which is impressive to me considering this is my only second regionals. But it's even less impressive because I was X3. We played 9 rounds. I was X3, and I didn't top 48, which got invites. But I knew several other X3s that did, and 2 of my losses, guys, were in the top 16. So I don't really understand that. But I mean, it's to me, it would have been cool to top, but I really don't care. I just don't like not understanding how I didn't. But anyway, here's a wind-up deck profile I used. Started off with Magician, Triple Shark. I mean, what else? Your Triple Rabbit, Triple Rat. Then you got your 1 Warrior. Warrior is great, and then you have your 1 Soldier. A lot of people play 2 Warrior or just 1 Warrior. Nobody plays Soldier. I play Soldier because he's a beater. Gets over, different stuff like Thunder King, all that good stuff. And also, most of the time when you bring him out through Invoker target, I'm making Volcasaurus or something. So it's never a level 3 that you make. So he's either level 4 or level 5. You might as well. He's not nearly as bad to draw as Warrior is, but I'll tell you which one I drew more of, and that would be Warrior. And that is 12 windups. Then you have your double tour guide, just for the rank 3 plays, your Invoker play, your Zen Man's play, stuff like that. Then you have 1 Brotherhood of the Fist Bear. I cannot tell you how many confused faces I had when I tinkied into this bear today. Or yesterday, I'm sorry. Just nobody had any idea. They're like, what? I thought you were playing windups. Nobody's ever heard of the bear engine, I guess, in Norcross. Just 1 bear for spot removal. And he helps thin the deck by just grabbing tinkies, grabbing rabbits, thinning the deck 2 cards at a time. It was okay. I like it. I usually sided him out in a tinky, but it was pretty cool. I want to test Card D, but I don't have one. But I want to test Card D to see if it does any better than that. Okay, and that was it for the monsters. It's 15. Now we got your spells. You got your Reborn, Avarice, Heavy, Dark Hole. Avarice is a card that not everybody uses in windups now, and didn't even towards the end of last format. I don't really get why, but I liked it, even though it only helped me really like once or twice today. But I think I only drew it like 3 times, and 1 time it was a dead draw, and I just set it, and I think he blew it up with Heavy or something like that. But you got your 4 staples, you got your Triple Factory, because why wouldn't you play this? I mean, Triple Tanky because there are 4 targets, and because Bear does search them, just for the deck thinning purpose, to draw more of your combo pieces or protection. Usually when I sided Bear out, I usually sided 2 of these out, just to get rid of that engine. And then we have your double MST, and I used to play 3, and a lot of builds play 3, but I'll show you why I'm only playing 2 in a few seconds. That's 12 spells, a dozen spells. Then we have your Solemn Duo. Don't know why that's at 1. Got your double Bottomless, your double Torrential, your 1 Mirror Force. I'll show you why I'm only playing 1 Mirror Force as well. Your double Deep Prison. Won me a couple games today. Double Fiend's Chain. Good. 2 chains. And then my double Trap Stun. I played this in the deck towards the end of last format when you still had 3 Magician and all the good stuff. I took it out to start, but my main focus this weekend was Mermails. I thought I was going to play a lot of Mermails. I only ended up playing one, but this card won me the game, and that's why I put it in there. I'll explain that a little bit later when I talk about the matchups. But 2 Trap Stun is great against Fire Fist as well, even though I suck against them. I just can't beat that deck. That's 13 traps. 13, 12, 15 is 40 card deck. And now we get on to the extra. Get your rank 3s and Zen mains, Leviathan, Leviair, Acid Golem, Tempo, and the MVP, Imminent Saber Invoker. Invoker, I know everybody just, hates on it, but it is so good for winning the game. I mean, this card right here is almost a win condition because it helps bring out your win conditions. Leviair, I didn't initially want to play, but I put him in here last second, like literally last second. Leviathan, I didn't originally play either. I only brought him out. I mean, Zen Man's like 3 times, made him like once, literally once, and it lost me the game because I was never going to win anyway. Once, and that actually helped a lot until it got Penguin Soldiered. And I made this virtually every game. I mean, it is literally the best rank 3 in this deck, aside from Zen Mains. Alright, that is the 6 rank 3s. Now we have your rank 4s. Your Maestro, your Photon Pap, your Shockmaster, still winning games. Your Cowboy won me 2 games, and Abyss Dweller. Like I said, didn't really play Mermails that much. So Dweller wasn't that bad. I did play 2 Dark Worlds. I brought it out once, but at that point I had already won the game. I was pushing for game, and basically I just couldn't push quite enough, so I just had to use protection. My second match against Dark Worlds, I wasn't even able to make that card. Yeah, those are your 5 rank 4s. I feel like rank 4s are the least important ones of the deck. Even though at one point I wanted to run Diamond Direwolf. That's why I ran Leviair instead. But Denard, you got his, or kept his, because he wanted to use it in his deck in case he needed to suicide it with something. Never made it once, but it's whatever. I didn't really need it anyway. You got your Tyrus for your rank 5. Your Zenmayo that everybody hates and I love, and I stuck by him, and then he lost me a game. Or I lost me a game, but he was the card that did it. Number 61 win condition. This card should have never been made. And then you combo with Gaia Dragon for game, essentially. That's pretty much how it happened every time. I think I didn't quite kill the guy and he dark holed me, but at that point I had Avarice and a rat in hand, and I was going to go off again. That's your 15 card extra deck. Now, pull out my box. Have your side deck, of course. Your double Thunder King that didn't help at all. Your double Banisher of the Radiance that when it did, it worked. They stacked like crazy. I don't know why. I always look through my deck when I sided them in. They were always on top of each other. Don't understand why. I need to get secrets or something. But, great card. It's your double Messenger piece. I don't even think I sided it in, really. I didn't think I really needed to stall that much. Prohibition, I only sided in a couple times, and when I did, he just played around it. Soul Taker sided in one time, and it won me the game. Or it was one of the key draws into winning me the game. Level Limit Area B. I used it, sided this a couple times. It helped stall a little bit. It was good. I mean, I still lost to Fire Fist, but 30 MST, not in the sleeve, of course. I don't think I ever sided this in. I don't think I ever needed it. Second Mirror Force, I decided to get against like Fire Fist and stuff like that, just to have more backward protection, but never helped me. Double Soul Drain. Solved this card one time against Mermails. Set it. Pass turn on first turn. He heavied. Never saw it again. Now we're going to get to Retort, which was probably besides Banisher, my favorite side of the day, and I'll explain that a little bit. But this thing has got a funny story behind it. And then my last side is a card called Vanity's Call that not a lot of people might know about. And I'll read it for you, basically. I don't want to paraphrase, so I'll directly read it. Activate only as Chain Link 4 or higher. Pay half your life points. Negate the activation of effects of all other cards in the same chain and destroy them. So they reveal Marksman and Gundy for Megalo, and then search with Megalo. That's Chain Link 3. Flip this Chain Link 4. They neg 3 cards. I only sided in against Mermails. Like I was worried about Mermails, and I only played one Mermail, so I sided in and never saw it. I don't believe I've ever seen it. And that's the 15 card side. All right. So now come the matchup talks. Game 1 was Mermails. Right out the gate, I played Mermails, and I was actually really relieved that I got it out the way that early. I 2-1'd him. He didn't know the trap stun ruling on Sphere. He went into main phase 2, he flipped it, I flipped trap stun. Trap stun doesn't destroy itself, so it just floats, no spell cards. He kept trying to MST my back row, and I'm like, you can't activate that. 2 turns later, he tried to do it again. You still can't activate it. Your Sphere is floating. Unless I completely messed up a ruling, which isn't, I wouldn't put it past me. But this card right here won the Mermail matchup because it made Sphere float in Game 1. Game 2, he just crushed my face in because I couldn't do anything. Game 3, the winner of the game in Game 3 was my favorite new card, Banisher of the Radiance. He couldn't do anything, couldn't run it over. And by the time he did get rid of it, I had game. I cowboyed for match. That's just how cowboy works. Game 2 was Hieratic OTK, and by the name, you should pretty much figure out what he did to me. My first loss of the day, it did what it did, and he sided in when I played Banisher, because he works around the grave with that Stardust Dragoonity crap, It was that kind of hieratic thing. Dragoonity hieratic, he used a Tum and all that stuff. He used Trident Dragon, which was just, why is that card? Ugh. But so I was like, okay, I won't let him use the graveyard to do his Stardust plays and the Dragoonity plays. Well, I played Banisher of the Radiance, set a back row or something like that. And on the end phase, he flips Imperial Iron Wall. So I know that card's going to be good. But right now, I didn't really see it, but I guess it worked for him. I can't remember my rabbit. I guess against Macro Rabbit. I guess that's why I decided it. My next match, I was 1-1 at that point, and I was at table 132 after being 1-1. I don't understand why. The hieratic guy was obviously 2-0, but I went down to table 132, and I was like, what? But I played a Dark World kid. I had previously saw the kid dueling. I knew what he was playing. So I was like, I have first turn Shockmaster. I'm going and I'm calling spells. What's he going to do? He's not going to normal summon anything that's going to run over him, and he's not going to special summon anything because he has to discard. Unless he had a Raven, but most people don't play Raven. But yeah, I just went shot. He was slightly inexperienced, but I overwhelmed him because of previous knowledge. So I was 2-1 at that point, and then I played Black Wings. This guy who was kind of, I don't even know what he didn't read things apparently, but he had answers for days. He had Kalutes when he needed them, and he was playing Black Wings, I tell you. He had Kalutes for days. He was Armageddon Knight everything. He was dropping Gale. We were going cards for cards. We went to time in Game 3, and I hit him for a bunch of damage, even though I knew he had to play next turn. I was trying to hit him because the next turn I knew I would have game if I survived. But I was trying. If I tried to hit him for as much as possible. Got down to I believe it was 1600 or 1400, something like that. And I was at 62. And I was like, if I survived the attack, which I would win next turn. That's even if he could attack me for a lot of damage. I was, But he goes and he, does all this weird stuff. Dimensional Alchemist, he drops, he summoned a Kalute, I don't know why. I guess to poke me for a little bit more damage. He valued an Arm Wing and just, all this stuff, and he attacks me. And I'm like, that's cool, man. And then, game 2, or not game 2, but main phase 2, he overlays for Gaga Cowboy. I took 5,300 damage at 62. I'm at 900 points. He goes, Cowboy for game? I say, you don't know how to do math? So we get a judge called over there, and he's been scribbling. I didn't keep life because I forgot a pen or I forgot paper, but he has scribbled everywhere, you know, life or whatever. And you know they're trying to decipher it, and I'm sitting here. We spread out all his cards, and I'm telling him everything he's taking. He does the math like 5 times on paper and on a calculator, and just keeps going, keeps going. After 3 judges standing over us in like 10 minutes, he finally accepts that he messed up, and I was at 900 life points. So I go to 100 life points. Next turn, I reveal my extra deck to show him Vocal Source. He extends the handshake. Would not be cheated. Next round, which would be what, 5? Yeah, round 5. I opened Magician Shark Factory. I won the die roll, so I shock locked him, and next turn OTK'd him after the only monster I saw was Cyber Dragon. Game 2, I opened Magician Shark Factory Heavy. He put Utopia in 1 back row on board, which is a bottomless, I believe. Heavy the bottomless. OTK'd him with Vocal Source. I mean, just... Well, no, I didn't OTK him. I had 2 turn killed him, but I mean, there was nothing he could do. I mean, at that point, nothing at all. So I didn't even see what he was playing. Like, and he was a little salty, but I told him, you know, you cut my deck. I did not stack. So at that point, I was 4-1, feeling pretty good. Next game, I played Dark World again after a repairing. We repaired like 3-4 times. It was stupid. But I repaired against Dark World. A very good game. We were both, you know, we knew how to play each other's decks. We were just going back and forth. And he had 2 set. I mean, he opened card destruction game 1. That helped him. But we were going to game 3, and he had 2 card set, and I knew one of them was nothing, but I wanted to get rid of maybe a potential, you know, reborn or something like that he had set because he dragged down a lot. So I went to Zen Mayo and detached to blow up the 2 set. He had Starlight Road. If I would have just went Tyrus and poked, popped one, I think we would have been. I think it would have been a different game. I think I would have won, because right there after that, I mean, Zen Mayo was gone. My big attack was gonna. He reborn it and attacked me with it for game. I reborn him game 1, his graphic game 1, and poked him for game with his graphic. So I mean, basically, it was a very good match. So at that point, I was 4-2, and then I played Fire Fists. Worst matchup. I can't, like, I mean, I know how to play the deck, but they always have answers. We trade cards for cards, and they always come out on top. I like trading cards for, I like the grind game, but they always have advantage because I don't know why. But so at that point, I am 4-3. Yeah, 4-3. Feeling kind of bad now because I went from 4-1 to 4-3. I played this weird mashup of Dino Rabbit Heroes. It kind of worked for him. I mean, I played around it. He kept me on the ropes. He was a kind of younger kid, but he had a good idea going. He was playing like Clayman and stuff like that, Elemental Heroes. He absolute zeroed me a lot. Hi, phone. Anyway, you know, I 2-0'd with Vocal Source. I mean, Vocal Source, weak condition. Alright, and then round 9, after I'm 5-3, I played Dino Rabbit. Game 1, I went first and just set up. He logged it, but I just got around it, and you know, eventually won because of the grind game. I mean, why not? So a great grind game. Second turn, he goes first turn Logia set 3 back row. I have no answer to that really. I have traps, so I summon a rabbit. I take you into a rabbit, summon it, play a factory, set 3 back row. Have 1 card in hand, so I say go. He summons something. Torrential. He lances his Logia. I Judgment right there on the spot. 4K first turn. Okay, we're going. After that point, though, he has no. I mean, he didn't. I mean, he tried to actually negate with Solemn Judgment with Logia. We had a fun time about that. But from there, I knew I had it because I had Factory Rabbit. I went, you know, gaining advantage, just poking him. It went down to the wire, though. He made me dodge my rabbit. I summoned my wind-up soldier. Next turn, he flips. He had 2 back row. He flips Dark Hole. He summons Fossil Dino. I'm at 900 life points. He attacks. I flip Dimensional Prison. He flips Solemn Judgment. And my mind races because I know what my other set is. And I remember the first card that went to my graveyard. And I played this. Retort for game. Retorted his Judgment to make his Fossil Dino get deprisoned and put him at 950 life points with a returning rabbit. That was it. Retort won me the game. He was a little salty. He was a cool dude. We've been talking the whole day. We met up a few times, but he was a little salty about that, about Retort. But I mean, what can you do? After that, they announced the tops, and I was X3, and somehow only got 60 something. But yeah, that was my deck and my matchup explanation. We'll do Denard's probably later in the week, because he did top 4 with his crazy Dark World stuff. But yeah, until then, see you guys later.